Hello guys, good morning. I guess it's not really morning where you are, but it is morning for me. I just dropped what we're doing today. I thought today it'd be cool to test another product. So today with me I have the Oura Sleep Ring. I guess let's just get on with the video. That was like the worst intro I've ever done in my entire life, but let's just get on with the video. So the things that pretty much come in the package is it has like a little charging pad and then the actual ring. I mean, it looks fancy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like it looks like nice. And I feel like it better be considering the price point was pretty high. So like I have high expectations for this. I do have an Apple Watch, which I think was about like, I don't know, depending on the Apple Watch you get, probably about half the price, maybe a little bit more than half the price of the sleep ring. But the Apple Watch does have pretty good like sleep tracking functions. So we're gonna see if it's different for the ring versus the watch. I don't know if like your pulse is stronger on your wrist or your finger. I feel like I'm like iffy because sometimes like in doctor shows they'll like do it on your wrist, but then they also put like that thing on your finger when you're in surgery. So, but okay, let's see if this ring actually even fits. I don't even know what finger it's supposed to go on. It looks like a really high-tech ring. Like it looks like something you'd like find in a movie where like you press it and it like projects like something weird like in some sci-fi movie. Like I wouldn't wear this throughout the day. I can't really close my fingers. At night, I'm not sure if it would bother me or not. It does have an app that you're supposed to get with it that like pairs to your phone. It looks like its main function is to like improve your sleep. So the activity is actually part of that. It gives you like goals for like your activity level throughout the day so that you sleep better. And basically so that there's like a better balance. I just like had to type in my email. And now it's asking me to put in like my birthday, height, weight, gender, and what units I use. Which I feel like is pretty standard for most like health apps anymore. Oh, now it's asked me for like what's my goal. Let's go with manage stress levels. I feel like most teenagers have stress levels, so let's go with that one. Do any of the following affect your sleep right now? Most of the times I'm just like up. School. There's not even an option for school. Oh, there's this. I live a hectic life. That is mine. I clicked that one. Get started. Oh, wow. It just like pulled up. It was like, oh, do you want to pair? It's paired, I think. Okay, it looks like it also has like activity tracking as well as sleep tracking. So it kind of is just like a Fitbit or like an Apple Watch, but like it's a ring, I guess. Which is weird because it's actually more expensive than Fitbits and Apple Watches. And it has like less capabilities. So maybe the sleep tracking is just like really good. It's very well laid out. It looks really high tech. But it does look like, I mean, I haven't obviously tested it, so there's no like data there yet, but there are lots of like charts and graphs and things like that. Also guys, don't be horrified with the amount of sleep I get. I think I maybe get like 4 hours right now. Pretty standard. Alright, so kind of my first impressions when I'm looking at this and reading more about it. I don't know, the way I look at it is you can get an Apple Watch and you can get millions of different apps that do different things that track sleep and exercise and stuff like that that'll give you all the same alerts and you have lots more options. And this ring just seems to kind of narrow it down and put it into one app. But I'm not sure if that's good or bad because you lose a lot of like freedom of choice of like which one you want and what different things you want. For the amount of tracking it does, that is pretty crazy that it's all in like a little ring. I'm like, oh, it needs to be smaller. But I mean, 40 years ago, they would have been like really amazed by this. Oh, look, guys, I already burned 3 calories just going like this. Alright, so pretty much the real kicker here is I'm going to be wearing them both while I sleep. I am going to be using a very credible sleep tracking app for the Apple Watch. It seems to be like the best one on the App Store. It has like 175,000 like 4-star reviews or 5-star reviews. So it's called Sleep Watch. We're going to be kind of testing these to see the accuracy, if they're different, if they say the same thing. It seems like basically what it can do is activity tracking, sleep tracking. It does mention something about menstrual cycle tracking, and it also does body temperature. So out of all those things, you can do all the same things from your app or from your phone or Apple Watch. The only one that I don't think you can do is like track temperature, which is kind of cool. Like, I don't know, it's kind of like a thermometer or something. Like, that's what it's called, right? Like the one that, yeah, thermometer. I guess it can like detect if you have a fever or if like you're sick and need to sleep more or something like that. But let's go ahead and test them and see the difference. So I'm finally ready to test the ring. It is pretty late at night. I'm going to bed a little bit later than I would have liked because I had a homework assignment that took longer than I thought it was going to. Normally I feel like, I don't actually know the amount of hours of sleep that I get, but it's probably not what I'm supposed to be getting. So I'm not really sure what these results are even gonna say. Honestly, I'm a pretty light sleeper. I guess we'll just go ahead and test the ring. See what it tracks.
Alright, so I just want to say that was the most sleep I think I've gotten in like 2 weeks. If that ring is actually accurate, wow. I don't sleep 8 hours. I'm sorry, I just don't. Anyway, okay, first things first. This ring is extremely uncomfortable. Like, I know that's like, I'm like complaining a little bit, but like literally, I don't know how to describe it, but it's kind of like my finger has like a cramp. I don't know if it's just cause like that hurts my finger. I don't know if I like slept weird or like, I don't know, it was like pressed onto my other finger last night. Something weird happened because my hand like hurts this morning. And like it's kind of bothering me today to have it on, but I do think it's pretty cool. It did log my sleep results. It was really fast. It was like as soon as I woke up, it was like, oh, like I forgot, I think it said like updating or something, and it like in like 2 minutes it had all the information from my sleep cycle, and it's actually really interesting. I'm learning about this in my AP psychology class right now, so it was like see everything and I knew what it all meant. It's really simple. I would say it's like really simple. It has everything laid out very clearly. It tells you everything. There was one thing though that said like heart rate. I didn't read it carefully. It said like heart rate difference or something, and it said 20 beats per minute or whatever, and for a second I was like, my heart was beating that slow, but no, it was like the difference like between the high and the low. I don't know, something weird. I mean, it's really well like laid out, really organized. There's a lot of information there, a lot of things you can do, and I think the more that you do it, like the more information it has and the more it can give you. So that was just one night, but it was really interesting. There's a lot of charts and graphs, everything like that. So I mean, overall, I mean, it was pretty cool. If you're into like sleep tracking, stuff like that, I mean, it has a ton of information, and I didn't see my body temperature. I was really confused by that. It just said like, but then it said my body temperature was good, so I don't think that's a good body temperature. Anyway, yeah. Those are kind of my first impressions, what I think about it right now. I do want to, tomorrow I'm going to do it with the Apple Watch and kind of compare what they're both saying, and then we should see based on like accuracy. I'm not really sure which one's accurate, but I'm going off the Apple Watch as kind of like the base. So. Alright, so last night I did the sleep tracking ring again. This one's weird. I feel like it's not super accurate because I went to bed around 1 o'clock. I was packing for a trip this morning, and I've been up since 5:30 because I have an early flight. So I think I only got about 4.5 hours of sleep, but the sleep ring is saying I got 6.5. So I'm a little confused by that. A little weird. Not quite sure what it's trying to do there. Let me see what the Apple Watch one did. Okay, this is actually really interesting. The Apple Watch says I got 4 hours and 20 minutes, which I think is a lot more accurate. That's weird that the sleep ring says 6 hours, and I did not get 6 hours of sleep. I don't think I was in bed for 6 hours, so I'm a little weirded out by that. That was weird because I was gonna say that the sleep ring, the app is a lot more detailed than the Apple Watch one, but if it's not accurate, it doesn't matter if it's detailed. So I'm gonna try it one more night. That's super interesting though, that it says 2 hour difference. That's a pretty big difference in tracking. So I just want to find out which one is more reliable and which one is more valid. I actually have been using the sleep tracker for a couple days. I found out that last night when I used it and I said that the time was off between my Apple Watch and the sleep ring, it actually just hadn't loaded yet, which was weird because it did say it was synced, the ring was synced to my phone, but I guess it wasn't because it actually popped up later with the correct hours. In general, I think the sleep ring is actually really interesting, and it's a lot more scientifically accurate than I feel like the Apple Watch one is, because it does show kind of, I don't know if you're gonna understand this, but I'm learning about it in AP Psych. But like it shows like the different stages of sleep, and it actually tells you about like your REM cycles, how long you're in REM, which is kind of like it's a necessary part of sleep when you're actually like dreaming, and it actually tells you if you need to like sleep longer so you can get more REM, and like there's a lot of stats there. And I actually thought that was really interesting, and it did like analyze your sleep very well, and it tells you things that I thought were interesting, like, oh, whatever exercise activity level you're having throughout the day was a good level today because you seem to sleep well. So I thought it was actually really interesting, and if you're really into sleep stuff, then this ring might be for you. For me, I just don't care that much because like I don't sleep in general, so I feel like I've actually been sleeping for this video. I've slept a lot more. That's kind of my final reviews. I feel like the ring is really accurate. It was probably more accurate than the Apple Watch, and the Apple Watch app that I did use, I haven't paid for it, so I didn't have the full subscription. I feel like the ring was a little bit better analyzing things and telling the data. So if you're into that kind of sleep ring stuff, this would be a good option for you because it was very, very good. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, a little bit more of a tech review. Comment down below what you thought of it, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.